going on, boxing fans? Julian Williams here at the distance. I'm going to do a prediction for a July bout between Danny Green and Antonio Tarver. The only reason I'm going to do this one early is because I'm not going to be around in July. So, I will be back next. But anyway, let's get into this match of Danny Green versus Antonio Tarver. It's going to be for the IBO Cruiserweight Championship. And it's going to be in Australia, which is Danny Green's hometown, his backyard. He's selling out all kinds of fights out there, and it's been on quite the streak other than the Paul Briggs fight. I don't even want to think about that one, but overall he had a great victory against full blown cruiserweight who is BJ Flores. Beat him. Seen a little bit of adjustments in his style. Seen him box a lot in that matchup, and I haven't seen him box before because the fights I've seen him in, he's coming forward, and he's kind of just he's just coming forward and he's being aggressive. So it was nice to see kind of that interchangeability within his style. For him, Antonio Tarver was coming off of his heavyweight debut back in October. Back in mid-October, October 17th, against Nike Aguilera. Coming off of that matchup, he was like 220 pounds, and I think had an injury in that matchup. I'm pretty sure he's well recovered from it, or somewhat recovered from it. But it was like an arm injury, but he was able to come in and get through it all right. Get through the fight all right. And now we got this matchup. Danny Green in this matchup, actually Danny Green wants to be the aggressor in this matchup. The reason that Danny Green wants to be the aggressor in this matchup is because Antonio Tarver has trouble against fighters that take the lead. He has trouble against fighters that pretty much won't let him dictate the pace. We've seen it time and time again. Tarver has done well against fighters that he can keep a range from and don't pressure him that much. And he just uses the jab and some movement and uses angles and counter punching. And he's also a little he has a little bit of that awkward southpaw style. He sometimes looks for the left uppercut or the left cross. He looks for those shots, but it's like in a way Tarver has kind of some counter punching tendencies. He has a tendency of a counter puncher, but he fights like an aggressor from time to time. If that makes any sense. But to explain myself on saying that is look at the Hopkins fight when Hopkins was the one being the aggressor. He didn't really have much of an answer for it. You can blame the weight and stuff. Also Glenn Johnson, another fight where somebody took the lead. Roy Jones, different matchup. Chad Dawson took the lead now when he was it seems as if he was just waiting a lot in that matchup. So in this one, Danny Green's going to have to just come forward and just jump on him and pressure him the entire matchup. And, just cut off that ring and just unload on him inside. But also, if Danny Green wants to box in this matchup, he can stand outside and box, but he can box as long as he's taking the lead, as I mentioned, as long as he's getting off first, as long as he's coming forward and he's throwing more punches, then he could very well take it to Tarver and get some early rounds in the bag just based on boxing. And it would be hard for Danny. It wouldn't be that hard for Danny Green to stand there and straight up just lateral movement, stick and move. It wouldn't be that hard, but also I just don't see him to do that against the Tarver. Against the Antonio Tarver, I see him being more aggressive and just coming forward. So I think that he just needs to come forward and be aggressive and fight the entire matchup. And if he boxes with him, then pretty much just use the jab, set up power shots, and and not really admire his work. Don't admire the work, but if he's gonna stay on the outside, then move and not admire the work. Move after you throw your punches, so that Tarver doesn't answer back. Sometimes it takes Tarver getting hit from try to come back and throw combinations. So, but also look for that straight right hand, or the right cross to go through his guard. That's a shot to look for. Um, Antonio Tarver in this matchup, what Antonio Tarver really needs to look for is the left uppercut when Danny Green's coming forward and he's kind of stepping on the back foot. Antonio Tarver can fight, directional. He can fight directionally. He could fight, going to the right. He could fight going to the left. He could fight, forward. He could fight going backward. He's aggressive. He's aggressive when you're not taking the lead on him. When you're standing there and you're waiting, he's aggressive. But also he can stand and he can, just box. He takes advantage of fighters when they're not being aggressive with him. And you're not cutting off the ring with him. He takes advantage of those kinds of fighters. Antonio Tarver in this matchup, going backward, needs to look for a big counter shot, a big counter punch, going backward. If he's able to kind of not get on the ropes, and he's able to probably land a left uppercut, because Danny Green tends to get kind of that lead foot thing in the ring where he gets over aggressive, and sometimes there's little openings. Or sometimes overextends that jab. He can come over the top of that. But the shot he wants to look for is a counter left uppercut. The counter left uppercut going backwards is the shot he wants to look for. And also, in this matchup, if he's gonna let Danny Green be the aggressor, which is a no-no in Australia, then he needs to counter effectively and follow up those counter shots. Counter, follow him up. This is not a single shot matchup. This is a combination fight matchup for Antonio Tarver. Combinations, clinching inside, short hooks inside, within the clinches. Just an overall, it's all about working in this matchup. It's all about working. He has to outwork and decisively beat Danny Green in Australia, but more than likely he has to knock him out. And the thing is, and it goes on to the conclusion, I don't think Antonio Tarver is going to knock him out. I think that Danny Green can very well take this one by a decision. I'm going to go with decision because I just think Danny Green's just going to come forward and the whole entire match just come forward and smother him and pressure him. But also he has that interchangeability as a boxer. He can box. We saw it in the last matchup that he can stand outside and he can box, and he can be effective using jab combinations and occasional overhand rights if you're not aggressive with him. And Antonio Tarver has that tendency to let fighters be aggressive and not find any openings, no countering openings or anything. So I'm going to go with Danny Green by decision in this matchup. So anyway, guys, that was the distance. Thanks for watching. Peace.